Constable, and your team to this November meeting in public. Welcome also to anyone joining us online, and thank you for your interest in the Policing Board and indeed policing. And Chief Constable, thank you for your report. Today, of course, marks 1 year since your formal appointment to the office, so your reflections around this are very welcome. This week also marked 23 years since the establishment of the Police Service of Northern Ireland and the Policing Board, so happy birthday to all those here. The importance of the service, of democratic oversight, and the principles on which our policing arrangements are founded remain absolutely fundamental to the future safety and security of our community. These are points that we as a board have made in our response to the draft programme for government, which I'm sure many other people have made as well. Policing has been a mainstay of our peace process. Whilst much progress has been made, we know that people's experiences of the benefits of peace are not the same across our society. Proper investment in resourcing for policing, and as well as the Northern Ireland Executive support for the service, is essential if we are to achieve the safe society we collectively desire and the ambitions of the programme for government. I want to start, as is becoming a recurrent theme, on resourcing. So we welcome that in the first UK budget, 45.8 million additional monies were given to the Executive for the PSNI's Additional Security Fund and the Executive Programme on Paramilitarism and Organised Crime. We are, of course, waiting on the work through of the other monies that have been announced and what will be coming to justice and indeed to policing. The board supports the PSNI in its current recovery plan to increase officer numbers to 7,000 and staff numbers to 2,572, which is a very precise number. Over the course of the next 3 years, that will take place, which will mean a total additional funding requirement of 201 million over a 5-year period. In our programme for government response, we have articulated the risks and also the opportunities going forward in terms of improving collaborative working on community safety issues across departments, as well as organisational effectiveness within the Police Service of Northern Ireland. My personal experience, just to share that with you in recent weeks while attending various meetings and events across the country, has shown a genuine desire and appreciation of collaborative working and cross-departmental collaboration, and that I find is very encouraging. Moving to the topic of safer society, on Tuesday evening I attended an excellent engagement event led by ACC Singleton, where we heard firsthand of the continuing impact of the summer events on our diverse communities in Northern Ireland. And in the last few weeks we have seen the devastating impact of the catfishing case and the harm caused, not to mention the now alarming numbers of femicides in Northern Ireland following the recent murders of Mary Ward, Mandy McGill and toddler Tavia da Costa. We have, as you know, been consulting on our 5-year plan, and people wanting visible policing. They want the police to be engaged in communities, and they want issues that affect that sense of safety in the community to be addressed, and I'm sure you will have further comments on that, Chief Constable. I want to move on to officer support. To the officers and staff who have been engaged in progressing some very distressing cases, we want to acknowledge that work and also seek assurance that they too are getting support from the PSNI. It is clear from your report that there has been a lot of very positive policing work and very successful operations. Although I always end on a high, Chief Constable, this month I need to mention something that's not so good, and I'm sure and I hope that you will address this in your notes or later on in questioning. I hope the Police Ombudsman report on the 74 officers inappropriately accessing and sharing data serves as a reminder to all PSNI officers and staff of their responsibilities around privacy and data protection issues in their work and the consequences of inappropriately accessing and sharing information without legitimate authority to do so. So that concludes my opening remarks, Chief Constable. If we could take your opening comments, and then before we move to questions from members of the board, we're going to ask Acting Deputy Chief Constable Chris Todd to give us an update on the work to date on the data breach.